Right, so just to finish off this nylon bulb holder, I've clamped the bulb holder to the bulb holder. It's going to sound like a tongue twister. And I'm just going to use a scriber in the hole just to draw a circle down there that I'll be able to see. And on the other side, and I'm going to drill those with a 3mm drill bit. So you should be just about able to see two marks there, there and there. And I'm going to drill those now with a 3mm drill bit. Thankfully I checked the drawing. It's actually a 3.5mm drill bit we're supposed to be using. Okay, so that's that part complete. I'm just going to tidy up these little push outs and that's that piece done. So I almost forgot to tap the hole with the M5. We drilled 4.2 in earlier stage and I've polished all the edges, taken off the plastic, and then I realised I hadn't done it. But thankfully it capped on. So the important thing when tapping is to make sure that your tap is going in vertically, both. It's not tilting that way, but it's not tilting this way either. We don't want it going in at any funny angles. So at the start, you need to be very careful. And when tapping, you want to go down, you have to turn clockwise. Now, I've surrounded this black piece of perspex with some cloth underneath because I don't want to damage the polished edges. Also, this is a second tap, so I want to go down a reasonable distance to ensure that I have full teeth. That's spinning quite freely now, so I know it's good threads. Anti-clockwise then to take the tap back out. Just be careful at the end, a little bit more gentle, because the taper tap is narrowing, it'll wobble around a bit more. There we go. We threaded that hole now. So, at long last, we have all of the parts made. They've been polished, emery papered, painted in some cases. So I'll just give you a quick run through of what I've done. I did very little to this. I just smoothened up the back a bit so that it's not too rough. These two perspex pieces, emery paper, and they're kind of these pads, rough pads. Use those, and then the polishing machine to get a decent, nice edge on them. Make sure the curves, there's no scratches and things like that. So they're both done. For the brass pieces here, these two were easy enough to do because they were pretty clean after the lathe anyway. So they were just emery papered, a little bit of polish, and then covered in a plastic coat type of material, spray paint. The base piece here, the hardest part on that was getting rid of the scriber scratch marks that were on it. Again, I then kind of polished it up a bit and then put on the plastic coat. This brass piece is going to be the battery holder. I measured the dimensions for a PP3 battery, so it'll fit in here and it's slightly clamped, and then that'll be glued onto the base afterwards. This part then, I spray painted it black. I used undercoat first of all, 2 coats of black spray paint then, and I polished the inside a little bit and then gave the whole thing a couple of coats of plastic coats so that it keep the shininess and protect the paint that bit better. So what we're going to do now next is assemble this whole project as best we can. Hopefully no mistakes have been made in the meantime, and put the wiring in for the bulb and see it in action. So first we're going to look at the electronics. So I have a soldering iron just off to the side here, some wire, wire strippers, a couple of screwdrivers and pliers, and helping hands. I have a PP3 battery and battery clip, a toggle switch, and the bulb holder, bulb holder, and a couple of screws to put it together. So first of all, I modified this bulb holder slightly. I just took out the sides here because the wires are going to come in from behind and I didn't want them jamming up against the lampshade. So what I've done is I've just cut out little sections there to let the wires through. Very simple circuit. We have the battery clip. One of those wires is going to attach to the middle pole on the toggle switch, and then we'll have another wire coming from there to one side of the battery or the bulb holder, and then the other battery wire will come to that one. So first of all, I'm just going to cut a little piece of wire for the switch to the bulb holder. So my wire cutters, I'm just cutting a section off this, and I'm going to strip at both ends. And I'm going to solder one end of the battery holder to the switch, and then the other one to one of those poles as well. I'm going to use my helping hands to assist in holding the switch for me. So I'm going to stick the wire through the middle pole. You could do this to one of the sides if you wish. That's going to be soldered there, and I'm going to solder this other wire to one of the sides. Once you use one side and the middle, you'll be absolutely fine for an on-off switch with this type of toggle switch. So I'm just going to solder those two wires in position now. And that's the only bit of soldering we have to do on this project. So I'm turning off the soldering iron and putting it out of the way. Remember, you can get a nasty burn off a soldering iron, so do be careful. And the solder that's used as well is lead-free solder. Okay, so the next stage, this switch is going to be sitting about here, and these wires have to go through the middle of the bulb holder, and I think that's the wrong way to look good. They're going to come up through there, and I'm going to put curves in them as well so that they'll be easier to attach. It doesn't matter what side you put them on. So attach that one there, and with a screwdriver tighten that up. So that one's in comfortably, and I'm going to put the other one on the other side. I'm going to loosen the screw first. Okay, so we're going to check, does this work first? Put the battery into the battery holder, the right way around. Put a bulb, and hopefully it won't light straight away. And hopefully when I flick the switch now, it all lights up. And there we go. It's not the brightest light in the world, but it will do. So we know everything works. I'm just going to take the bulb back out again because I don't want to damage it as I'm doing the next bit. So I want to pull these wires back through. And I have here M3 by 16 millimeter screws, and they're going to attach the bulb holder to the bulb holder, and I'm using a nut as well, an M3 nut. Sorry, this is all fiddly. You're getting probably more view of my fingers than anything. Just tighten those up now. And that's basically the electronics done. So now it's to assemble the project and put it together. Okay, so to assemble the project, and we finished a few spanners, pliers and screwdrivers, and all of the different parts. I'll tell you what screws I'm using as I'm going through. So first of all, I'm going to attach the back plate to the connecting plate. I'm using M5 by 10 screws and M5 cap nuts. Loosely first, get both in before you tighten up. So I'm just going to finger tighten everything first of all. And I'm noticing my nails are scratching the plastic coat that we coated this with. I don't know if you can see that just there. I'm going to have to remove that and find some other material to cover the brass in to keep it shine. It really isn't working properly. So that's those there. This brass bushing goes in here as well. That's just a press fit in. It should be reasonably tight. Now we're going to attach the base on, and I'm going to have the big curve to the curve here, and I'm using an M5 by 6 screw. That's 1 millimeter for this and 5 millimeters for the thickness there. So it's going to be a little bit awkward because it's so small. Screwdriver to help. If you use a screw that's any longer, it'll come out the back and be just sitting on the surface. So I'm going to try and line this up as best I can and tighten it. Do a tiny shaving maybe. So we have that so far. Next section, I'm going to attach the hood, the shield or the lamp to the swivel, and for this I'm using an M5 by 15 screw and a M5 lock nut. I'm just going to put that in between. This is a little bit fiddly as well. There we go, at long last. Tighten it up again. too bad. Will I put that on first? I'm just going to take off the nuts and I'm going to leave the washer on there. Put this through. Wires out of the way. And it's an M6 lock nut that I'm going to put on the back here. Use a 10 spanner for that. So this is so that you can tilt the lampshade at an angle but still have it hold that position. So at the minute it's still falling, so I'm going to tighten some more. Now we can tilt it, hold. So there's a time limit on this camera of 10 minutes for a video, so it cut out and I didn't realise I'd gone over the 10 minutes. So what I've done in the meantime, that's tightened up. I've put in the switch and tried to maintain the back of the switch straight up. I just roughed the surface here and stuck down the battery holder. It doesn't actually fit back here, so you can see why they didn't design a switch in there. So that's pretty stuck now. So I'm just going to put the battery in there. I'm going to squeeze that just a little bit. That'll hold the battery. Put the bulb in. And again, big fingers don't help in these things. Flick it on. And okay, it's not the strongest light in the world, but you can just about see it, and maybe in a dark room it wouldn't be so bad. It's a nice little project. It's nothing special, but it doesn't look the worst in the world. Of course, we're having a heat wave in Ireland here, which is kind of strange. So this is a brighter day than normal. I have a storeroom here. I think I'll go in and see what it looks like in there. So here we are in the storeroom. It's mood lighting, if nothing else. It's certainly not magnificent. But there we go. There's a desk lamp project, 1997. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.